Howdy ho YouTubers, neecyd here. This is post-op week number 3. I had RNY surgery on July the 15th in Preop. And all of my numbers are over in the sidebar. I think it's that way. I'm not sure, maybe it's that way. But this week's numbers are great. I am minus 7 pounds since last Wednesday, so that gives me a grand total of 46.5 pounds. I'm going to try and talk faster because I tried this once and of course was over. Anyways, it's been a really good week. I was out to my parents for the last few days visiting a bunch of relatives that came up from Ontario, and subsequently a whole bunch of other relatives who came over to see them, and it was just really wonderful to spend all that time with everybody. I started full fluids last week and I'm tolerating them very well. Things like cream soups, you can have puddings. I don't like puddings much, so I didn't have any of those, but cream soups for lunch and supper. I'm having pureed oatmeal for breakfast, or you can have cream of wheat, my protein shakes with milk, yogurt, and I have been tolerating everything very, very well. I'm very excited about that. Also on Saturday night, because of all of the family that was in, my mom made a big supper, and so I did have a square of cheddar cheese this weekend, and a little bit of roasted turkey white meat, and a little bit of dressing, all about the size of a sugar cube or so, a couple of them each, a couple of different times, one day and then the next day again for lunch. Chewed them up to puree consistency and had no issues with them. I also, my mom has a huge garden out there, and the peas are ready right now. And so we were out on the garden looking at everything, and so I had about 3 pods with peas. Tried one, chewed them down, swallowed them, they were fine, so did another one and a third one, and then I stopped. They were good, but they were just, you know, there's nothing like fresh peas off of the garden. And I tolerated them fine with no issues. So I'm quite sure that when I go to the dietitian tomorrow, she's going to move me up to pureed foods off of full fluids, because I've had no issues. The only thing I did have an issue with was the sugarless syrups. I picked up some of those, tried them in my protein shake, and the hazelnut made me really sick. Not really sick, I shouldn't say, but an hour after I had drank that protein shake, I had, I don't know if it's what everybody calls the frothies. It didn't seem frothy, but it was like a couple of dry heaves, and it was just more like saliva than anything. I wasn't really bringing anything up, but it was from my mouth from doing the dry heave thing 2 or 3 times. So I'll just stick with the protein shakes. I actually like them. It doesn't bother me. I'm using 1% milk right now. Once I start taking in more food, I will use skim milk, which is what I drank before. You can have juices, like 1 8-ounce glass of juice a day, but I'm not a big juice drinker. I mean, I like milk and I like water, and so far I'm tolerating them fine. I have to be careful not to drink too much water because I get a little gurgly. It doesn't come back up, but it just sort of gurgles, and it's kind of an odd sensation, and I've heard other people talk about that too. So what I did find, though, because we had so much company coming and going, it was really hard to stay on schedule. So I'm trying to do 3 meals a day and 3 snacks a day, which is you know, standard for many people. But I'm finding that if I vary, like if I am late getting to one, then of course I'm not hungry enough yet for the next. I'm still full, and so there's no catching up. Like if you miss that meal and that protein, you're probably not going to catch up for the rest of the day. So it's really important to try as much as you can to stay on schedule with those meals. So most days I am meeting my protein requirements in grams, but there were a couple of days that I was short. And the other thing that I realized a couple of days in, oh, my jacket's all funky, was that I wasn't drinking as much water as I have been. I'm trying to get in between 1 and 1.5 liters a day, and because there were so many people around, you know, you're gabbing, which you know I can do well, I was short on that. So I'm trying to be very conscious of that and drink enough water throughout the day, because you know you have to give your time before and after meals, so you don't have that much time in the day to actually drink just water. But I am getting my fluids in, if you count your milk and you know, the fluid from the soup and all that. I just really want to try hard to get enough water in. So the other thing that's kind of cool is I did 3 1-mile walks this week. So I mean, I'm not a speed demon yet, but it's a mile and it's exercise, and so I'm excited about that. Did some gardening, weeding, and cut the lawn, and you know, I just feel so good. I'm just really happy about that. I saw my family doctor last week, and the other thing that's kind of exciting is that starting this week, I'm going to start weaning myself off of my blood pressure meds. So I'm on 1 antihypertensive daily, and so starting tomorrow, I'll take a half pill. This week I'll alternate full and half pills. Next week it'll be half pills every day. The following week it'll be half pills alternate days. So within 3 weeks I should be off of my blood pressure meds completely. And around that time I should also be trying to go without my Postop, which I'm taking instead of Nexium as a to treat acid reflux. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm okay with taking the Postop as long as I need to, or for longer, or whatever. I'm just excited that my blood pressure is so much better. What else? I think that that's about it. Let me look at my list that I dropped on the floor here. The only other thing I wanted to mention that happened this week that it took me by surprise is that after your surgery, you need to expect getting queries about your surgery from unexpected people. I've told quite a few people that I know that are sort of closer, that I see frequently in my family, my friends, some of my coworkers, that I'm having this, that I was having this surgery, and had talked about that. But I hadn't, I've had 2 occasions, one's pre-op, and again this weekend a cousin whom I only see maybe once or twice a year. So I was very surprised with when she came in, gave me a hug. One of the first things she said to me, "So you had your surgery, how did it go?" And I was taken aback simply because I think I was surprised that she knew, not that I cared after the fact, but right at that time I was irritated because I thought, well, you shouldn't know this unless I told you. And so just prepare yourself. You're going to get queries from people that you've told and people that they've told, even if you've asked them to keep it confidential. But also you're going to get queries out of the blue from people that you will have no idea how they would know. I'm sure somebody in the family told her, but and you know, everybody who's asked me about my surgery since I've had it and come back, it's all been well-intentioned. I've had no negative feedback or anything from anybody, but just be aware of that. Be prepared to get those questions and for fielding them and how you're going to answer them. I kept it very general. I didn't go into details. I just said, oh, everything went really well and I'm feeling good. And she was happy with that, you know. So anyways, that's the end. This is my second tape round now, so I don't want to go over the 10 minutes. Everything is going great, and hopefully before I post this I'll have pieced together a pictorial and also video montage of my time in Puerto Vallarta as well as my hospital stay. So I hope you guys are all doing great. Thanks for all the comments and feedbacks and well wishes. I've been watching your videos. They're all great. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Hope you're having a great week. Have a great weekend and make a great day. Bye, everybody.